This is another video that is related to our previous video, that was the video related to the IS curve. Now moving on to the LM curve. Now, as we already know, LM curve is a curve that is the combination of liquidity and money, or we can say LM curve and the money market equilibrium. The LM curve actually shows all the combination of the interest rates and the income, or we can say the output, for which the money market is in equilibrium. The point of equilibrium in the LM curve will be that point where we'll find the combination of the interest rates and the output. So the L denotes the liquidity and M denotes the money. LM curve is a graph that shows all the possible combination of the real income and the real interest rate, or it shows the effect of the change in rate of interest over the real income of the people, so that we can find the point of equilibrium in the money market. So on the base of these two graphs, we determine the interest, or we determine the relationship between the income level and the money demanded by the people, and we derive the curve. So in the first graph, we see that we are seeing the relationship between the income and the money demanded by the people, and we see that there is a positive relationship between the income and the money demanded by the people. That means with the increase in the interest, or with the increase in the income level of the people will start demanding more money in the market, because now they are able to invest or consume more money in the market. The more income for the people, the more money are they going to demand from the financial institution, because now they can afford to spend or consume more money in the market. And apart from that, we see the another relationship between the rate of interest and the money supply. That is, with the increase in the rate of interest, the money supply will decline, or the money demand will decline. Because when the rate of interest will increase, people have to pay more rate of interest over the money that they are lending from, or that the financial institutions are lending them. So that is why they will start, or they will contract the demand for the money, because of the high interest rate, or because of the interest rate that they are going to pay over the money that they are getting in the form of the loans from the financial institutions. And when the rate of interest will decrease, people will start demanding more money in the market, because now they know that they have to pay small amount of rate of interest over the money that they are getting from the banks. So this will be a profitable deal for the people. So with the decrease in the rate of interest, people will start demanding more money from the financial institution. That is why this curve shifts downwards, because we have an inverse relationship between these two factors. So this is, in this we are seeing the supply of the money, and we are seeing the rate of, relationship between the rate of interest and the supply of money. Here we are keeping our supply of money constant, and we are determining the relationship or the effect of rate of interest over the demand for money, and we are determining the different points of equilibrium. Here we are seeing with the rate of interest, or with the increase of the rate of interest, when we have kept market demand, or when we have kept the supply constant, how are we finding the different points of equilibrium on the basis of the different rate of interest. When rate of interest was R2, our point of equilibrium was E2, because at that point our demand is equal to our supply. So when we are keeping up our supply constant and we are decreasing the rate of interest, the demand curve will shift downwards. So we will get a new point of equilibrium, that is E1. That means with the decrease in the rate of interest, or with the shift of rate of interest from R2 to R1, the point of equilibrium will also shift from E2 to E1. This is how we find the different combinations between the rate of interest and the market demand for the money when our supply is kept constant. So this is the derivation of the LM curve. How can we derive the LM curve? So we derive the LM curve on the basis of the following propositions. First of all, an increase in the level of income leads to an increase in the demand for the money. As we already know, when the level of income of the people will increase, they will start demanding more money in the market, because now they are willing and they are able to consume more money in the market. So with the increase in the demand for the money, that will automatically lead to the increase in the rate of interest. Because in order to cope up with the rising demand for the money, the banks will increase the rate of interest. Because with the increase of the rate of interest, the demand will automatically decline. That is the main reason why interest rates increase when there is an increase for the demand for the money. So with this, therefore, there will be an increase, or if there is an increase in the level of income, or the increase in the level of income will lead to the increase in the rate of interest as well. Because when the level of the income of the people will increase, they will start demanding more money from the financial institutions, and in order to cope up with the rising demand for the money, the banks will increase the rate of interest. So there is an inverse relationship between the level of income and the rate of interest. So we are determining, or here we are deriving the LM curve. As we already know that there is a positive relationship between the rate of interest and the income level of the people. With the increase in the rate of interest, the level of the income or the output will increase. So first of all, we see the relationship between the rate of interest and the supply and demand for money. When we are keeping the supply constant, we find the different points of equilibrium. And when we will forward this point of equilibrium on the next graph, here we are finding the relationship between the rate of interest and the income level. By combining all these three equilibrium points, we find our LM curve, that is liquidity and money curve, and that is positive sloped, or that is upward sloping, because there is a positive relationship between the rate of interest and the income level of the people. So now moving on, how can we find the point of equilibrium between the money market and the goods market? This is on which the ISLM curve is based. The main motto, or the main reason for ISLM model is that we have to find the point of equilibrium between the goods market and between the money market. So we already know how are we able to determine the IS curve and the LM curve. So in order to find out the point of equilibrium between the money market and between the goods market, we need to put these curves on one graph, and the point where these two curves will meet, that means that will be the point where your IS curve will be equal to your LM curve. Keeping in conception the relationship between the rate of interest and the income level of the people, this point will be our point of equilibrium. That means the point of equilibrium on this graph is E, where rate of interest was 0, R0, and the income of the people was YO. So this is the point of equilibrium, and this is how we find the point of equilibrium between the goods market and between the money market. So this was all about the ISLM curve.